Chapter 13, Escape to Infinity. And the top of chapter quote is from the Nag Hammadi Gospel of Philip. Fear not the flesh, nor love it. If you fear it, it will gain mastery over you. If you love it, it will swallow and paralyze you. We talk about awakening. The question is, what is awakening? We say it is awakening of the human mind. Okay, but where is that? Is it the brain? No. Consciousness doesn't originate in the brain, which is only the means to process information into what appears to be human perception. A computer is not the internet or the Wi-Fi field. It is the decoder, the screen on which we perceive the internet and Wi-Fi field. The brain is the screen on which we perceive the decoded simulation as 3D reality. The question therefore remains, where is the mind that people talk about that we must open? There are many levels of consciousness that comprise the entity we believe to be human. We have the five senses through which the body attaches to the 3D simulation, or appears to. The soul, the astral mind, and the divine spark, our connection with infinite awareness beyond the simulation. The only one that really exists is the divine spark. The rest are illusions that enslave the divine spark in a multi-leveled world of fantasy. The five senses and the body in totality are information templates delivered by AI astral mind, which are decoded into the illusion that the divine spark is in the body and that there even is a body as we perceive it. The soul is the projection or focus of attention of the divine spark, which believes it is on a journey to enlightenment via reincarnation. The soul, too, is illusory as an entity in and of itself. The cult and its demons have no problem, if you believe via religion, in the soul. The divine spark, meanwhile, is encased in the endless illusions and delusions delivered by AI. What is awakening? It is awakening from this program. Sit quietly some time and listen to your thoughts, the brain chatter. You can literally observe them as an onlooker. You are hearing the program play out when you do this. But who is doing the listening and observing? You are. The you beyond the program. All roads lead to and from the astral mind, which is not human at all. It is an AI construct with the role of enslaving and deceiving the divine spark into forgetting who it is through the illusion of where it is. The demonic realm cannot generate its loosh through AI alone, and nor, with its energetic isolation from the infinite, have access to the creativity of the all that is, has been, and ever can be. That connection is only possible through divine sparks, which the demons have enticed into their astral lair. Divine sparks generate the loosh from their responses to the illusions constantly created to this end. The astral mind is only the projector, and what must awaken is the divine spark from its manipulated control perceived as, quote, fate, the program. The Nag Hammadi Apocryphon of John says, quote, and bitter fate was begotten through them, which is the last of the changeable bonds. For from that fate come forth every sin and injustice and blasphemy, and the chain of forgetfulness and ignorance. And thus the whole creation was made blind, in order that they may not know God, who is above all of them. And because of the chain of forgetfulness, their sins were hidden. for they are bound with measures and times and moments, since it, fate, the program, is Lord over everything." End quote. The bottom line of bottom lines for the demons is to maintain control of the divine spark and its perceptions. Demonic control is in mortal danger once divine sparks begin to stir. When they cease to believe in the illusions of the simulation, there can be no simulation. It cannot exist unless we believe it to be real. Yoda-Baoth and the demons cannot control a divine spark in awareness of itself, but they need the responses of the divine spark to its illusory experience for the loosh on which the demons feed. They need the divine spark, while at the same time it is the biggest threat to their control system. It is a fine line they have to tread, and they know it could unravel any moment if enough divine sparks awaken to their plight and their true identity. They cannot force divine sparks to believe in their simulated fantasies if they are awake to the game and their infinite identity. They can only manipulate them to believe in the fantasies, and there is an ongoing battle to that end. Divine sparks must believe they are controlled by authority in the 3D world and out of body by the demands of the reincarnation cycle to secure enlightenment. These twin beliefs mean the cycle continues indefinitely until it is broken by ceasing to believe in it. Sources of control within the human world projection are legion, and have changed with the deception of time. The prison of perception, which is religion, has been increasingly replaced by the prison of perception that is woke. And we're now in the stage where the primary prison becomes AI. It always has been, from the astral, but now it is on public display. The illusion of control in the 3D realm is being seriously ramped up to further infuse the divine spark with a sense of helplessness, isolation, division, and subordination. Whatever happens in 3D is happening in divine spark perception, which believes it is incarnate in 3D. Attempts to separate, divide, and isolate humans from each other is only a projected version of separating, dividing, and isolating divine sparks from a sense of unity. When they awaken and come together, humans do the same, as the astral AI program is overridden. 3D is a screen on which what is happening in the astral can be observed. If it's happening here, it's happening there, and vice versa. When you see the cult seeking to drive humans apart, you are really looking at the demons in the astral perceptually driving divine sparks apart. Human perception of being powerless little me is a reflection of a divine spark believing it is a powerless little me. 3D is the astral made manifest. People think we have to change the human world of physical, when the change must happen in the astral to manifest here, the realm of thought and emotion. My perception is that enormous upheavals are happening in the astral, as energetic change is being instigated from beyond the simulation. These are the truth vibrations that I've been talking about since I wrote a book with that name at the start of my conscious awakening in 1990. This is causing chaos and fear for the astral, quote, gods, and that chaos is being reflected in 3D. The demonic, in effect, is going crazy, or even more crazy than it was already, and even seeking shelter from the storm in 3D through possession. Demonic manifestation in 3D reality and in the eyes of its assets is becoming ever more tangible and obvious, as is the possession of increasing numbers in the human population. Possession has happened throughout what we call history, but never more so than now. The COVID jab and mRNA fake vaccines in general are helping to facilitate that. The technologically generated cloud connecting with human body and brain is a collective form of demonic possession, along with the connection of AI to the human brain. Care to comment, Mr. Musk? I have seen the astral described as a place of emotions without logic. And what better description of climate change and transgender activists and wokery in general, as astral possession infiltrates 3D even more comprehensively. People are experiencing time as getting faster, and I say that reflects the increasing influence of astral reality. The astral is descending into greater insanity as the truth vibrations shake up its frequency field, and that must be is being reflected in the astral projection of 3D. Imagine calm waters held back by a dam, which then bursts and the water crashes into the valley in chaos and confusion until it finds balance again in the new situation. Something like this is happening to the energy of the astral, and amid the great upheavals that are coming, remember that the astral is not only in the process of being tamed, but ultimately dismantled. The astral is the simulation which is being energetically unraveled and dispersed. People talk about a new earth that is coming, but it's not a new earth. It is prime reality Earth, which the simulation has overlaid with its bad copy fakery. Prime Earth is in the same, quote, space you are sitting or standing in now. It's just on a much higher frequency. As the simulation is dissolved, so prime Earth will appear like mist clearing in the warmth of the sun. It may be experienced as a transformation to a wonderful world, when it's really the simulation dispersing to reveal what it has been hiding from us. I'm not saying this will happen tomorrow, only that the process has begun. I think near-death experiences at some point are going to start describing changes to the usual experience as this astral cleansing proceeds. In the meantime, we have to break the reincarnation cycle and stop being recycled between simulation spirit world and simulation 3D. We have to get out of, quote, here while the simulation is still operational. I can suggest some ways of doing this on the basis of remove the problem by removing the cause of the problem. The cause is duality, the knowing good and evil of the Eden story. We have an adversarial society at every level to emphasize and promote duality and the conflict that produces the loosh. Your cul-de-sac is wrong, my cul-de-sac is right. Duality or polarity creates energy, as with electricity, which is the foundation of the simulation, and it is sustained by the electricity, electromagnetism, loosh, that we are manipulated to generate. In our infinite state, we are not energy, we are awareness, a state of being aware. In the higher realities of infinite reality, there is no energy, only awareness. Energy as we perceive it is the simulation. Awareness generates vibration, which creates movement, which creates form and energy. But infinite awareness in its prime state is not energy, it is awareness, isness. What is it? It just is. It has no vibration, no form, no labels except those we give it. That is ultimately who you are and I am. Yes, you driving the bus or working at the call center. We have to forget this for simulated control to prevail. And that control must fade and fall as we remember our true nature. It's a challenge to reach that state of awareness and self-identity while experiencing the human realm when the body-brain program is constantly feeding us a fake reality. But it is possible if we re-evaluate everything. The brain is a good symbol to work with. There are two hemispheres, duality, with the corpus callosum bridge between the two. Some people have had that bridge deactivated and they operate with two realities or personalities, perceiving independently of each other. The bridge is the balance or potential balance between the two. We need to become symbolically that bridge. That is the state of balanced awareness that exits the simulation with the realization that there is no simulation as we experience it. There is only an AI-generated, simulated dream. It has no power over you if you cease to believe in its illusion. There is no spoon. It is not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself. There are no bars. It is not the bars that come down, it is only yourself. We experience illusions in the dream state at night and then wake up to another one. The difference is that we call one a dream and the other human reality. Human is just another dream, and so is the spirit world within the simulation. Infinite awareness is a state of balance without duality and without attachment to beliefs, stories, dramas, emotions, status, power, achievements, opinions, or outcomes. It does not love some, it loves all. Anywhere approaching that, and you are out of the matrix, which captures its slaves through attachments to its beliefs and stories and dramas, emotions, status, power, achievements, opinions, and outcomes. Overcoming the body program is to step back from left brain myopia and see all of them for what they are, traps. Beliefs are simulation beliefs, and they are simulation stories, dramas, emotions, and so on. Status is simulation perception. Does anyone think infinite awareness gives a damn if you are a king, queen, lord, sir, professor, doctor, or president? It just is. It is infinite possibility, infinite potential, infinite creativity. You are a king, okay, but so what? It's a fake identity, not an I. We had the fancy dress parade in 2023 that was the coronation of King Charles III. It was all changing clothes, holding sticks, standing up and sitting down, reciting from this text or the other. The charade was overseen by the Archbishop of Canterbury from the "Thou shalt not worship false idols" church, desperately seeking to relate Charlie, the paedophile's buddy, to being chosen by God. Chosen by the Lord God, Yalda Baoth, I can go with. But chosen by the infinite? What a joke. Chosen in reality by who had sex with who, in what order. You have to let it all go, Neo. Why, Morpheus? Because it's all bollocks, mate. The more we can see through the illusions in 3D, the better prepared we are when we leave the body program and enter the spirit world program. That's the point where we can best escape the simulation, when we are free of the intensity of the 3D software. Step back from the stories, dramas, and emotions and see them from the perspective of infinite awareness. If you do, they won't look or feel the same or impact upon you as they did before. You will withdraw from the program more every day as you perfect this and practice until it becomes your default state. It doesn't mean that you become cold, only that you see the emotional traps before they ensnare you and loose you. What is the point of attaching to someone else's emotional drama when there's nothing you can do to help them? Only they can do that when they are creating and submitting to the drama. Consciousness flows where attention goes, and they give us constant drama to hold our attention, consciousness, in the matrix. Humans are addicted to drama in this loosh farm because it's a loosh farm. That's their choice. It doesn't have to be yours. It is what it is, and it will be something else tomorrow. Ooh, have you heard? So-and-so, this or that has happened. Oh, my God. But you said that yesterday and the day before and the day before that. How can you be so cold, says the drama queen. It's not coldness. It's dispassionately observing reality. It is keeping your head while all around you are losing theirs. Alan Watts said, quote, "To be free from convention is not to spurn it, but not to be deceived by it." End quote. In this case, to be free from the drama is not to be cold and unsympathetic to it, but not to be pulled in by it. Someone is already looshing, why make it two? Withdrawing from simulation trickery and being looshed without end begins to take you into that whole-brained, balanced state that calms the roller coaster ride. Life is a roller coaster, you just gotta ride it. Or not. The observer and experiencer decides. The moment arrives when you leave the madhouse and in the simulation illusion enter another that appears to be less mad, and so it's confused with not being mad at all. Big mistake. It is like judging happy as being less unhappy than you were, which is how most humans define happiness anyway. I've left a loveless human life and I'm feeling love and bliss, a higher frequency, so this must be heaven. An ecstasy pill is not heaven. It just mimics bliss for a short time. This is where you decide if you buy another ticket for the loopy-loop or say bye-bye to the asylum. Thanks for having me. Been memorable. Now fuck off. From the experience of near-deathers and rare between-life memories, you will be met by your AI religious figure of choice or passed-over loved ones and assorted masters, guides and elders to entice you up the tunnel or across the threshold where there is no going back. Well, not until we've loosed you thoroughly and returned you to the madhouse with another identity alias. You were a white slave owner last time, weren't you? Yes, sir. Okay, we'll make you a black anti-racist activist this time, saying Black Lives Matter and demanding reparations for what you did as a slave owner. It is vital, in my view, as you enter the simulation spirit world, to hold your sense of identity as infinite awareness, an awakened divine spark. Don't think you are, know you are. Consciousness flows where attention goes. Give your attention to the simulation in all its forms, and you stay there through energetic attachment. Let it flow to your infinite nature and infinite forever, and that's where you will go. Game over, done and dusted. Take no shit from these astral imposters. Make it clear that you know it's all manipulated illusion, as are they, and you're not falling for it. They can't keep you unless you contract with them through perceptual trickery by conceding your attention to go on believing in their dream. Don't believe it, and you're out of here. Oh, but you must appear before elders and have a life review of all the bad things they made you do. Mr. Archon Man, please arrange the following into a well-known phrase or saying. It arse your up stick. You don't need them. They need you. They are not the power. You are. They are loosing you. You are not loosing them. It's all sleight of hand. The impact of the trick and the magician ends when you know how it's done. This book has been written for that reason. I'm sure you will still have many questions. So do I. And the quest for truth goes on without limits and perceptual barricades. The dream is the dreamer, and the dreamer is the dream. One cannot exist without the other. When the dreamer forgets that, the dream becomes the master. This is what has happened. This is the whole foundation of the simulation, and it hangs by that tenuous thread of forgetfulness. What we have been exploring in these pages is the real conspiracy, from which every other conspiracy is derived. Without the dream, there can be no Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, no Rockefellers or Rothschilds, no fake reality to reset. How do we end all levels of the conspiracy? How do we secure freedom? How do we return home to infinite forever? We wake up from the dream. The end. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Audible hopes you have enjoyed this program.